What's in your room? Your mind. Your mind has a plan of its own. You can't control it. Instead, it controls you. You're thinking you should be married by now. You're thinking you're not meant to be anything great. You're thinking if they knew you were abused, they would look at you differently. You're thinking you came from the poorest neighborhood and everyone expects you to fail, so you fail. You're thinking she's more successful than me. You're thinking he will never love someone like me. You see your neighbor's perfect marriage and you want that marriage. You wonder, why isn't your marriage like that? You want that perfect marriage. The most active and consistent thing in your life right now are your thoughts. They are like non-stop. They rise when you rise. They go where you go. They follow you into meetings. They're on trips with you. They are at your family functions. They're even at dinner with you and your friends. Your thoughts, at the end of the night, go to bed with you. They stay awake while you sleep. They watch you sleep. They wait for you. They wait for your next move. Your thoughts can be your best friend or your worst enemy. We have internal dialogue with our thoughts. We go into debate with our thoughts, and we rationalize an entire situation with our thoughts. Your thoughts will be exactly the same as they were the day before until you put those negative ones to sleep. You would think the same things every single day. You must lay them to rest. Here's what we need to do. The first step in the mind cleansing process is to go where the fear lives. You must revisit your past. It's not the most pleasing part of this process, but it is the most necessary in order for us to move forward. We must travel back in time. We're going to go where the hurt began and where the hurt still lives. I need to know what's in your room. Close your eyes. Take a walk with me for a second. I'm about to take you to my island. I'm about to take you to my room. My room sits at the very top of the castle. It's at the very top. My castle is 11 stories high. Your mind is on an island all to itself. Your mind is a castle with many rooms. Are you with me? As we make our way to the top of the castle, I walk up these stairs knowing what's ahead. I know what's on top. I know what's behind that door, and I go. I want to go. I want to visit my room. I am most comfortable in this room. And I get there. And I open the door. And I see him. I see a man with no face. I see him. He does not speak to me. He has no voice. We don't speak to each other, but I am in a moment with him. I am in this room, in this moment, and I love being in this room. He knows that I'm there. He knows that I'm there. Every time someone says they love me, I would run to this room. I would run to the top of my tower. I will go to this room and I will sit with him because I don't want to lose him. I don't allow anyone to love me because the thoughts tell me fear love. My thoughts tell me run from love. My thoughts tell me you're not meant to love. Your love sits in this room. Your love sits in this room. He is my dad. He is my dad, and I don't know his voice. I can't tell you what he sounds like. I don't know it. But I love it. I love this moment. I love being in this room with him, and he says nothing to me and I say nothing to him. I just sit here and I am happy. I don't know him because he passed away before I was born. I was 6 months in my mother's womb, and I was going to arrive in this world without knowing him. But he knows me. This is my room. I had to build the courage to back myself out of the room. I had to build the courage to shut the door. And I shut that door and I went running down the stairs. I went running out my castle, and I tossed that key into the ocean so I could never visit that room again. My thoughts told me he will leave if I leave. I now know that that was my fear. I know that that room held me captive for years. I know that that is not my story, but I had to visit that room. It took me a long time to shut the door, and it will probably take you just as long. What is in your room? You must visit all your rooms. My castle has many rooms. That's just the one that I put at the very top of the tower. It sits there and I leave it there. I no longer have the key. This week's homework assignment is going to be a little difficult for you. I'm sorry that I'm going to have you relive some of the most hardest moments in your life. You must enter all your rooms. I don't know how many rooms you may have, but you must face them all. They do not get to travel with you the rest of the way. You must end that story today. Your story continues, but that story ends. Visit those rooms, visit the pain, and document how does it make you feel when you visit that room. You must write them down. You must pay attention to your feelings as you enter each and every one of your rooms. There's one thing I am certain about you, and I don't know you, is that you have a start date, which is your birthday. We all have a birthday in this world, and we all have an end date. The end date is a mystery to us all. We do not know when that is. But the one thing I do know is that we get to create that dash in the middle. That dash between your start date and your end date is your lifeline. And you must live. You're responsible for creating your dash. I would like to thank you so much for spending time with me today. I am truly sorry that this is going to be one of the most difficult parts of this process. I too had to relive some of my hardest moments to get to this point in my life, and so can you. On the next episode of Your Healthy Reality, we will continue with the mind cleansing process. I promise it will get easier from here on in. Until we meet again, I am your host, Char, and this is Your Healthy Reality. Together, we will push through and move forward. You have a wonderful day.